Happy New Year! If you're watching this on January 1st, you're either a little hungover, swearing you're never drinking again, or already looking for dry January alternatives. This is my first dry January and I'm allowing THC drinks. So today, we're talking about Willie's Remedy and whether it actually works in cocktails. Willie's Remedy is a THC social tonic, not alcohol. Each 1.5 ounce serving is either 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams of THC, depending on the bottle. They also make a seltzer that's ready to drink. We'll cover these another day. When I'm making drinks with the bottled version, I treat it just like a base spirit. Today I'm making 3 cocktails with it. Shotgun Willie's Margarita, a Blue Eyes Crying in the Fizz, and a Redheaded Stranger Cosmo. If you want a side-by-side comparison with alcohol, I did a dry January video last year where I compared alcohol THC drinks and zero-proof mocktails. I'll link that below. Before we start mixing, let's try Willie's Remedy on its own. So I've got both the 5 milligram and the 10 milligram here, and for this video I'm sticking with the 5 because I'm making 3 drinks with it for a total of 15 milligrams, so that's plenty for me. I'll actually have a little bit of both side by side just to see if there's a difference in the taste. I really like the 10, it's just kind of a grapefruit citrus flavor. The taste is virtually identical for them, so when you're deciding which one to get for your cocktails, just decide whether you want a low dose or a high dose. So for all 3 of the things I'm making, either one will work. One thing worth mentioning before we start mixing is price, because THC drinks are all over the place right now. There are definitely cheaper options than Willie's, like these little 50 milligram THC shots called pot shots, and they're way cheaper per milligram, but they also have a very gas station-like energy. I'd expect to find these next to scratch-off lottery tickets and Slim Jims. But I won't make fun of them too much until I try them. And then Willie's is more about making an actual drink than chasing the highest number on the label. So if your goal is maximum milligrams, this probably isn't it. But if your goal is something you can mix into a cocktail, it makes way more sense. One more note on THC drinks in general, since people keep asking if they're going to be banned. I don't think they're going away. What I do expect is more regulation, like clearer labeling and dosage limits. I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually see a cap, like no more than 10 milligrams per serving. Some states like Kentucky already have rules like that in place. Let me know in the comments below what you think will happen. Now finally, let's make some drinks. I'm gonna start out with Shotgun Willie's Margarita, and the first step of that will be decorating my glass with some Tajín. This is gonna be a spicy margarita, and I know like it's technically not a margarita without tequila, but I'm kind of trying to imitate the feel of a margarita.
Now I don't drink as much as I used to. I still take a drink of tequila occasionally, but not like I used to.
So the first step for this one is muddling some jalapeños in my shaker. And I cut the top off a jalapeno to use as a garnish, and then I just used what was left. Use more or less depending on how spicy you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and put my ounce of lime juice and ounce of agave nectar in to muddle with the jalapenos. And usually I put a little less agave syrup or simple syrup in my drinks, but the Willie's Remedy itself has kind of a tart flavor, so I'm adding a little more sweetener than I normally do. And since I can't use orange liqueur when I'm going non-alcoholic, I'm going to use a little bit of a pineapple orange juice. I'm going to put about 3/4 of an ounce of it. Just orange or just pineapple would work fine too. And finally we'll do 1.5 ounces of the Willie's. And then I'm just going to open pour this one into my glass. And I'll garnish it with my little piece of jalapeno. there's a Shotgun Willie's Margarita. For drink number 2, we're going to make a Ramos Gin Fizz riff called Blue Eyes Crying in the Fizz. And if you've ever wondered what the difference between a cocktail and a mocktail is, I would say that it's the amount of effort. This is definitely more than just handing someone a glass of juice. So we're going to start out with the first ingredient. We're going to replace the gin with Willie's, 1.5 ounces of it. Next up, we're going to add an egg white, and I'm going to separate it before I add it just to avoid any mishaps. And as if this drink wasn't fussy enough, it uses 2 different citrus juices, 1/2 ounce each of lime juice and lemon juice. We'll do a full ounce of heavy cream, 1 ounce of vanilla syrup, and a few drops of orange flower water. And usually these are like solid white, but to make it live up to its name, I'm going to add a little bit of this non-alcoholic blue curacao, just a little bit. It's essentially just sweetened blue dye. Okay, so first we're going to dry shake this one, which means to shake it without ice. It's really common with egg white cocktails to do that, and I recommend shaking it quite a bit. Add the ice and shake it again. So my arms were tired and my hand was cold, so I hope that's enough. And I always like to make this type of cocktail in a very tall and straight glass. So once you have all of your ingredients, one little tip is to just let it rest in the freezer for 5 minutes or so. It'll make it separate better, and the little effect when it comes out the top will hopefully be a little easier. Okay, I did a little cleanup and let the fizz rest in the freezer. I'm gonna go grab it. So the next step is to take a straw and put a hole in the foam. And then we're gonna try to pour some club soda in and get a little tower coming out the top. And I can already tell, I don't think this one's gonna work that well, but we'll see. It'll probably taste good anyway. It has more of a bulbous format than I'd want, but at least it's not running down the side, so I'll take it.
Does it look excessively bulbous?
I don't know if it'll pass the straw test, which is to get a straw to stand straight up in it, but well, maybe it came out a little better than I thought. So there is our Blue Eyes Crying in the Fizz, which didn't come out quite as blue as I expected, but I kind of like it. Alright, next up we have the Red-Headed Stranger Cosmo. This one's definitely going to be a lot easier than our Fizz was. So just like with the other two, I'm going to add 1.5 ounces of the Willie's Remedy. A full ounce of non-alcoholic triple sec. Simple syrup would be fine too, or even simple syrup infused with orange peel. And again, I'm adding a little more than I normally would in this drink. 3/4 ounce of lime juice and 1 ounce of cranberry juice cocktail. This is kind of a big glass, so I kind of upped my ingredients a bit to fill it up. I might even add a little extra splash of the cranberry to make sure. And a nice simple drink with a nice simple garnish, a fresh lime wheel. So there's our Red-Headed Stranger Cosmo. Okay, so I'm definitely happy with the way these three look. let's give them a try. I would normally want to like have some of the rim, but I need to take pictures of this later, so I don't want to mess it up. Okay, I love that one. It was one thing I always miss when I do a THC drink or a mocktail, is like that little kick that alcohol has, but you can kind of replace that with something like a jalapeno. And this one is plenty spicy. If I like it, it means it might be a little too spicy for a lot of people, so then just cut the amount of jalapenos to maybe like 2 or 3 slices. I'll be back later for more of that. So the second one is our Blue Eyes Crying in the Fizz. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. I didn't play with fire and try to get it to tower more, but I bet it'll be good. Yeah, definitely really reminds me of the original Ramos Gin Fizz, because it's got that nice like soft cloudy like mouth feel to it. It's kind of like drinking a cloud. It kind of looks like a cloud. A little hard to make, but they're fun to do every now and then. And then our third one is the Redheaded Stranger Cosmo. Really light, citrus forward. I knew the cranberry would go really well with this, so no complaints on any of them. And I don't think you would even realize that they have like a THC or weed taste to them. They just taste kind of like good cocktails. So which one of these would you try first? Have you had Willie's Remedy before? What did you think of it? If this video is helpful, like it, leave a comment, and maybe even subscribe. I'll see you next time. Cheers!